Pumpkins and squashes, both summer and winter squashes, are among the most widely cultivated crops in homes, in allotments, and in gardens. And people like to know about them. People love them. I love them. Many people also share the same interest. The varieties getting gradually diversified. You can have more than what was routinely available in the shops or in the seed catalogs. But as you know, I like books. I like information which specifically go into depth about one subject. I'm fed up with the kind of general gardening or allotment books that they cover all the topics. Very vast sea of knowledge, little depth. And by people who actually have not done the cultivation themselves. You see the picture of the hand of a young lady when the author is not the same person. Posh gardeners who don't do the gardening themselves but write about it. Gardeners or allotmenteers who claim that they are the fastest growing web or YouTube or whatever in the Europe or the world or universe or cosmos. But they hate vegetables. You don't see they cultivate much. Or you don't see they harvest anything. You never see them actually cooking it. So, the best way is always to go for the masters in any field. And the masters in this field are those who have written comprehensive books about pumpkins and squashes. I have a few books here which are just about the pumpkins and the squashes. The topmost of them is The Complete Squash. Is by Amy Goldman. This book is published in the United States. I must say that before anything else. In the English-speaking world, the best books on pumpkins are written by the Americans. Simply because they have more varieties, pumpkins and squashes. Many of them are from the North America and South America. They have bigger lands. All the traditions of for example, pumpkin for Halloween and other things, it seems originates from the America, from the early settlers who went there. That was a staple food for them. There is a prayer actually. They say that God give me one food which has no pumpkin in it. It was during those times that they had only pumpkin available. They learned it from the Native Americans and the original nation. And this was a crop that everybody had to eat. There was not much more available. Okay, now the Americans know a lot about pumpkins, and the best books, of course, written by them in this field. And Complete Squash, which I will go later for a better review of this, comprehensive review of this, is the best book you can get on the subject. And the good news is that many of the pumpkins and squashes described in this book, you can buy it actually. The seeds of them are available in a very comprehensive website, American website. If you're in the UK, you can get 5 seed packs from them at each time, it seems. There's a rule for that. It's an import rule. And this about a few seed packs from that supplier, which actually seems has most of the pumpkins and squashes mentioned here. That's Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company. This is an American company, of course. And then this book, if you get a copy of it, I don't think anybody sells that. Is not available second-hand. Second-hand sometimes is more expensive than the new one. Try it, you will see that. The cheapest you will ever get is about £40 or £50 If you are lucky, I don't think you will be lucky to get a 50 pound or 40 pound version of this. If you're lucky, good luck. Usually it is on sale for 70 pound or more, about $100. Nobody sells this book because it's such a good book, such a comprehensive book. There is no pumpkin available to us that this book has not mentioned it. And I'm saying it because I've looked at many of them. I've grown a few of them. Amy Goldman has done a good job, especially with conjunction with the photographer. Look, they have taken very beautiful artistic photograph all through the books. They have a very lovely section for the for recipes to what to do with your harvest of pumpkin and summer and winter squashes. And yeah, what can I say about this book? You must love pumpkins to understand what I mean. For example, I've grown this variety, and I have bought and learned about this from this book, and then I bought it from the heirloom, the Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company in America also, and yeah. That is claimed to be the most beautiful pumpkin in the world. I have made several videos about it. The latest one you can see also in the probably under this video, and before this video, the last one. This is a very good book. Buy it if you can afford it. Don't expect to buy a cheap one because there is not. Nobody sells this book, at least for now. The book has the content of the book as you see here. I will have a separate video about this. This book really deserves a separate entry on its own. And yeah. Next to the best is The Perfect Pumpkin. Again, is an American book by Gail Damerow. I told you this is it's full of stories and anecdotes about how the pumpkin was developed and used in America, cultivation, all the varieties, all the tricks of the trade, everything mentioned. Is in America you can buy it for about $15. I've not seen it in the UK. If you can find second-hand copy, probably about £10 or so, you can buy it in the UK, or you can get it from the library just to read. This book is not in pictures. Of course, it doesn't need, it seems, because it's packed with information. If you want something about pumpkins with varieties, this is the book to go, Complete Squash. But if you want to have the knowledge about the pumpkins, want what to do with that pumpkin that you have, growing, cooking, and carving about it, and also stories about pumpkins, Perfect Pumpkin is the book to go for. There are several other books here. In the UK, we have it. These two books, Growing Squashes and Pumpkin and How to Grow Squashes and Pumpkins, they're basically the same book. I was tricked to buy both of them, thinking that they're different. They're not. Richard Byrd, same number of the pages, same photographs, everything is the same. Not bad book, but not in depth. Too much shallow, I think is a little bit too much like a Dorling Industry books. Not much about the varieties of a pumpkin, which is what we want to know. And if you buy either of them, you have read the other one as if you have already the other one. I cannot say the same about this book, Pumpkins and Squashes, Gardening and Crafts and Recipes by Caroline Boyce. I keep things in between the pages. This is a Reader's Digest book, of course. It was published in the... Seems it was published in the UK. Let me see. Limited. Yeah, okay. It's given the thing in the Library of Congress, so it must be American again. Not surprisingly. This is a good book. I'm telling you, this is a good book. Full of recipes. Good varieties, good pictures, how to carve the pumpkin, how to decorate it. I'm not interested in that, but if anybody is interested, that's the way. And some, not very extensive, but some entries for about different varieties of pumpkins. I think that comes at the end. Yeah, not bad. Actually, this is good. These entries are good. It gives you something about the pumpkins. I've grown some of these, and I can say that some of them are really good. For example, surprisingly, from this book, Complete Pumpkin, about two varieties of seeds of pumpkins. One from Iran, and the other one was Kadupolo from Tajikistan, the country of Tajikistan in Central Asia. And I bought a few French and Greek ones also. The French and Greek ones either failed to give anything, or when the crop was available, it just rotted easily. It didn't survive the British harsh weather. Wet and damp and cold can be everything. But surprisingly, those two varieties, Iran and Kadupolo from Tajikistan, they survived the British weather. I have them, and actually I made a video about Iran. The other one is in my car, and I have to go and bring it and just eat it, the Kadupolo version. So anyway, I'm digressing. These are the books that you can buy. You can, of course, borrow from a library. The last one that I mentioned, the price of it, the pumpkins and squashes, gardening crafts and recipes. There is no price tag on it. I don't know where it must have a dust jacket. I don't know where is the dust jacket. I probably removed it or put it somewhere. Anyway, there is a price somewhere, is it? No. Anyway, should be around £10 or something like that. Okay, which ones I recommend? I recommend these pumpkin and squashes, Perfect Pumpkin, and above all, the Complete Squash. These two books by Richard Baird, practically, if you get them very cheap, buy them, otherwise don't bother. I don't trust this person who has written the same book and published it under two different names by two different publishers. Yeah, two different publishers. This one's $6.99 by which company? Southwater. The same book. $6.99 by Lawrence Book. Okay, you can say that the publisher he gave it to the second publisher after the first publisher sold out all the copies. You can investigate that for yourself. You see here, the dates here is written. This was published in 2008, 2003 and 2008. And Mr. Richard Baird sold this book again to another company. If I can find here, 2003. Okay, we can say that he was selling the same book in 2003 to two different companies. Or the publisher was selling it to two different, or distributor, or whatever. Very strange. Same book, same author, two different names, whatever. You can make your mind about it. If I wanted to go for a book, Complete Squash, Perfect Pumpkin, Pumpkin and Squashes, these three. I will not go for these two.